We are clicked. Let's quadruple check. All right. Everybody. Welcome back to first episode of Tell Me I'm the Greatest podcast with me and Travis Bagent. How are you, Travis?
I'm good. Hey, listen. For the last 20 years, people have been telling me, yo, dude, you need to get on YouTube and do a podcast. Here I am, first episode. Tell me, no, it's not. Is it Tell Me I'm the Greatest still or something? What is it?
It's still Tell Me I'm the Greatest.
I mean, it's the first one. We can name it anything we want. Let's introduce sponsor right here, Cross Country Pest Control.
Ooh!
Woo! Great.
I don't even know the company. I can do all the work for all the pest control.
You know this company.
Hey, general household pests, termites, subterranean, dry wood. Hey, Cross County got you.
That's Lance Hunt out of Waxahachie, Texas.
Oh, that Lance's company? I got you. Okay, my bad. All right. That's awesome. I just
what's the big news?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, we're talking like in a worldwide. Are we talking me? We're talking you.
Talking the most important thing in the world. What's the big news?
I mean, the Tyson Bagent, if you ask me.
Nope. There's bigger news.
I don't know. The Travis Bagent series going on, TV show.
That's Backpage.
East versus West.
That's not even in the paper.
God damn, I didn't know that.
I heard you're going to Dubai.
All right, yeah. I am doing that.
That means you're going to win that thing and get invited to the king of the table.
I mean, we will see. Bro, I'll be honest. First time I looked at it, they announced it at that, the tournament, and I looked at it. There's good prize money. Like the first place does pay out 3,600 or something, and even third place pays like 1,000 something. Like you good, even if you're a bum. But it's 187, and it's only right hand. So I was like, nah. And then 1 week later, Adam, like Larry Wheels guy, messages me like, hey, you should come. You will be promoting everybody and, blah, 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 and all that. I'm like, ooh, God damn it. Let me see if the tickets all of a sudden like $5,000 to where there's no way I can afford it. And I can tell him, no, tickets got even cheaper. I'm like, well, fuck.
What's your flight schedule?
It's direct flight from Orlando to Dubai on Emirates. It's terrible. It's terrible 14 and 16-hour flight. 14 there, 16 back, but it's direct. And from Todd Hutchings and everyone experience, I think you told me too, like you don't want to get stuck in all those different countries too, for some odd reason.
I mean, it's bad news when you get stuck in, Philadelphia and you got to call 2 arm wrestlers and one of them lets you sleep on his couch. It's another thing to be locked up in Istanbul and they telling you, hey, man, I don't know, come back tomorrow. I'm not leaving this counter. There's no way I'm leaving this counter. So, yeah, that's, I think that you made a good decision. I took that flight to Japan from Atlanta direct. And first time I ever took a sleeping aid, Xanax, or I don't know if it was meth or crack or something, but I got a pill. And I sat in first class with John. Well, John Brzezinski actually gave me his first class ticket because he could get business class and first class. And he's like, yo, business class to me is all I need. I'm like, well, I'll take that first class ticket. So I gave him, I think, $200. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. So I take that pill and I slept for almost 14 hours on the way back. And the lady said, when I woke up, she said, oh my goodness, we thought you were dead. And I'm like, yeah. She said, are you hungry? You missed both meals. I'm like, yes, I am. So I turned on a movie, ate 2 dinners, landed. That was my experience coming back. So it was pretty sweet.
Nice. And how old were you?
Oh man, that was when I pulled John Brzenk and I had that Biotech jersey on, the
Jersey?
purple jersey. You know what? I couldn't tell you if that was 2004 or 2011, somewhere in there. But it's pretty easy to find out, I think, if you just do a little investigation.
I got you.
That's
So,
the that's the most I ever worked for the least amount of money I ever made.
I don't know. What about the tournament in Orlando that we did where nobody showed
No,
up?
actually, I will just go ahead and put this out there. I've been waiting because I'm not the type of guy that calls the police or rants about the injustices of the world. The third worst thing I ever did was go to Japan with John. And I made $3,000 and free travel and airfare and food and everything, right?
Okay.
Most people would be no problem with that.
Yeah, it sounds all right.
I was excited when I negotiated the deal.
Okay.
However, in the fine print, we had to sign T-shirts.
Oh.
Yeah, well, have you ever signed a T-shirt? It's a trick.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve in signing a T-shirt. Anyone who's done it understands exactly what I'm talking about. So we get to this executive dinner, John and I, and there are what appears, now listen, I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be insensitive. I'm just explaining to you what I experienced. And I don't even know if this is racist, but it looked like
fair enough.
A bunch of rich ass Asian people were about, looks like there was about 65, maybe 85 people. Big, huge stage. On the stage, the arm wrestling table behind it, huge, like the Last Supper table. And we're all, me and John and all the promoters and the directors, whoever's in charge of doing all this stuff. And then Yoshi and his brother are there. That's our opponents the next day. And we're looking out to this like ballroom area. It's like one of the meeting rooms at the Arnold Classic size, right? Maybe twice as big as that. And, it's an elegant dinner. We eat, and then each table, say there was 25 tables, maybe 16 tables. They each had maybe 8 people at them. Each one of those people from each of those tables would come up, arm wrestle, take a picture, and have me sign their T-shirt.
Uh-huh.
So out of the 65 people, probably 20 got a signed T-shirt, right? So I'm torturing these first 20, right? I'm like, this is terrible. I look at John, he's writing it like he's writing on a piece of paper. That's how good he is now at this point in his life. For me, I hadn't signed a whole lot of T-shirts. I hadn't even took a lot of pictures. It was strange back then. They would just walk up and shake your hand, but we didn't have the sophisticated cell phone selfies. And they would ask for autographs, but it was always they had a picture if they had one. And I'm new into that too. But whatever the case, we take a few photos. You still had the guy with the big ass camera coming around.
Right.
So we get done, and I look at John. I'm like, woo, wait, this is the easiest money I ever made, right? This is great. Well, they opened the 2 doors to this ballroom. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, every single Chinese dude, Japanese, I don't even know where we at. Where were we? We were in Japan. We were in Japan. So every Japanese person in the world got a T-shirt and was waiting there. And we started. I mean, it must have been 1,500. And here's the deal.
I've heard you told me 3,000 the first time a couple of years ago.
You have no idea of how horrible this job is. So I did that for about 4 hours. The next day when we got there, we signed T-shirts for 3 more hours. Then I arm wrestled Yoshi. Then I arm wrestled Yoshi's brother. And then I arm wrestled John. Come home, do one rep on the preacher curl, and feel something weird in my wrist. From that, I'm out 1 year and 3 months. Had to have a little surgery on my wrist, got it scoped, and found a little tip back there. So even to this day, I got this little bump here. Reminds me of that whole nightmare trip.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know you had such injury like that.
Yeah, it was just enough. Now, and I'll tell you, when I came back from that, the first time I arm wrestled was at the Kansas City ROTN. And the first couple matches, it's Richard Lupke's. And I'm like, oh. And I mean, I'm talking about I haven't even done anything right-handed for a year. 1 year. But I'm like, you know what? It doesn't hurt anymore. I'm going to just play with it and try to get my timing back. And because I already know I'm going to win left-handed. And it was, I think it was like third place, $500 or something. So I'm like, you got Ron and Richard, but everybody else are bums, right? Don Underwood.
You have a good chance.
These guys are bums back then, right? They hadn't hit their stride, right? So I get up there against Richard Lupke's. They say go. I hit till about 10 o'clock. And then immediately, as soon as I feel that big dude stop me, I like let go right away. He wins pretty dominating. I went back and I'm like, dude, it doesn't hurt at all. Like, because I was worried about pulling a guy that was better than me, losing, and then having a problem.
Okay.
Dude, I don't have any problems. Ron Bath beats Richard Lupke, so he's sitting there undefeated, and I've worked my way back to this third place match with Richard.
Okay.
But the fact is that Bob Brown is refereeing, and Gary Roberts has decided to reinvent arm wrestling. So
on the spot.
So he's made a big ass arm wrestling pad for the elbow, and he's made these pads to where there is no parallel pin. So these pads are big on the outsides, and they start coming forward a little lower to the middle of the table. And the idea is there won't be any parallel pins. You got to touch. So go back and watch the ROTN Kansas City and check out the table. Okay. Well, they say ready, go with me and Richard, and I blast everything sideways and back. He doesn't want his wrist to go, so he keeps coming, trying to get his wrist curl, and he got it. It was about 9:30.
Following.
About 9:30. And he was going to come back and win, but because of this big ass elbow pad and these slanted pads, about right here,
it touched
it, right? Bob Brown, who is there telling Gary Roberts not to do any of this stuff, is the down ref. And he's like, win. And then he's like, yeah, review it. You said any part touches. That's what touched. Now, you didn't realize that Richard Lupke's was going to have the girth to have his elbow still on the end of that pad and not be pinned up here, but have so much girth here that it touches. Don't get me wrong, it made it touch right here, but it was just enough. Winner, right? So I go immediately, I'm like, oh, tough call, Rich, but I'll take it. Now I'm in second place already with a loss, right?
Okay, that's a little more money.
Better. I feel even better, right? I'm like, oh, and I know Ron Bath. At this point, I hadn't pulled Ron Bath since my wrist was healthy. And back then, I can't tell Ron Bath from Anthony Laredo. You know what I mean? I'm crushing Ron Bath at this time. It ain't even close. So I'm thinking to myself,
Travis, you're frozen up.
I'm frozen.
Oh, you're good. You're good now. You're good now.
I say Ron Bath is just bad enough of an arm wrestler that I might go ahead and smack this cat too. And I kept it under wraps, right? I kept my number one ranking, even though my wrist was messed up, and just kept putting my hands up and saying, can't nobody beat me. What you talking about? So that rode me up.
Okay.
And, and it was just about this time where people were like, man, Trav ain't shit. He don't even pull right-handed no more. And boom, here I am. So I get up there. So here's the funny part. I grab Richard and I'm like, yo, that's a tough one, but I'll take it. He walks away. He walks down the stage, back in the back, because it's kind of like a old Nationals feel in the hotel.
I got you, like a ballroom, yeah.
When he gets back there, he got his whole family back there, right? So I mosey off the stage 10 seconds behind him, right? Talking shit to every person as I'm walking my way all the way to the back. As I get there where they are, so I can walk on out because I don't have to pull now until the finals, his son is just outraged. And this man's son's a 20-year-old grown man, 18-year-old, I don't know. I feel like I'm 28, 32, somewhere in that department.
Okay.
He's an 18, 19-year-old kid. And he's, and Richard's more or less, Richard ain't saying nothing, but my man's just going crazy. And as I walk by, the guy's like, that's some cheap fucking shit. And I don't know if he said, fuck you or bitch or, and then listen, I could say, fuck you, bitch, faggot, you know me.
Right.
Quick in an argument, right? But there's no way I'm saying nothing to this dude's family, right? Especially when I know that was a tough call. I mean, he got pinned, but I don't know if they meant it to be that way when they developed the table. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were more looking for that, you're way away from me, and now we're in the middle of the table, parallel pin that Gary didn't like. But if you go back to that,
never discussed the important part of like what counts as a pin. Is it the wrist part, as you said, or your whole forearm?
No doubt. And the fact is they had made it so there was no gray area, which made it a pin. There's no doubt about it. It's a pin. Yeah. But we all know if we'd have been on any other table with any other rules, he most likely would have caught me there. I'm pretty sure my elbow would have went off the back and I'd have got a restart. But the truth is, Richard was probably a little bit stronger than me if we'd have went on. I mean, I know he was, right? And it's not because he was so awesome that day, because he couldn't beat Ron. It was because I was not awesome, because I was just coming back from injury. Right. If I was on point, I'll smack Richard too. Quick. Ain't no doubt about it. I already done it. I already beat Richard twice when I was weak as shit. I can't imagine what Richard would feel if I come in there ready. Especially now that he's 112 years old. Shit. Boom! I'll crush Richard.
Oh, man.
But, so as I'm walking through,
I didn't know about that one, actually.
I'm like, relax, player. It ain't that big a deal. You know what I mean? And he said something else, and he said something else that was, in some bad fashion. Punk, I don't know. But to me, it all sounds the same. Right? So I turned back. I said, yo, Rich. He's like, and I said, listen, I can't be a whole lot of more of those. And Richard looked at his son and said, shut up. And I mean, when he said shut up, everybody in the state shut up. It was so aggressive. It was so aggressive. And I walked away immediately.
Oh, wow.
And then, 20 minutes later, I beat Ron Bath twice to win that RTN with a right off the on the wrist with no training at all. That just shows you the dude I am, dude. I'm different.
Well, I see what you're saying also about Ron Bath being the guy in the finals and not being as technical, and it. But yeah, you already know it can be a lot easier. You have
Oh,
to be a
100%.
lot
Because
stronger. Yeah.
Ron's not gonna run to come get it. Ron's gonna battle with it out, right?
Right.
And then my confidence just got outrageous. Plus, after the Richard thing, boy, my adrenaline was crazy. Like I thought I was gonna get beat up because I'm like, if his son says one more thing, I'm gonna go crazy verbally. I ain't gonna touch the man, but my verbal assault on Richard's son guarantee will end up with Richard going nuts.
Right. The verbal homicide. What? Okay. So tell me, what was the format when you pulled John and Yoshi? Like you said, you pulled him,
Yoshi,
brother, and John.
Yeah.
What is
so
it?
I pulled no. John pulled Yoshi. I pulled Yoshi's brother. Then we switched. I pulled Yoshi. He pulled Yoshi's brother, and then we pulled each other.
All in the same day?
Yeah, all within an hour and 10 minutes. But man, me and John were so much better than Yoshi and his brother that it wasn't like, I don't think that was the best Yoshi, I assume. But you know what? I think it was. The problem is that was a crazy, ridiculous John Brzenk. If you go back to that was about 6 weeks, or I'm sorry, it was the week before he was supposed to pull Usmanov in Dubai. And also 3 weeks before me and John went to Japan, I pulled in Dubai against Usmanov and Pushkar.
Okay.
And Usmanov got so mad about the refereeing and me beating him that he canceled the match with John.
Okay.
He and John's at his peak. I mean, you talk about, ready to go. John weighed in at 252 pounds or something crazy. His head was so big. He was ready. And I was crazy strong. And we went over there. We just smacked them two boys like they wasn't even there. And then me and John, I'm telling you, that's the best John Brzenk there's ever been. And that's probably the best Travis Bagent there could have ever been. It was close. We were in it. And he was not in normal shape.
Wow.
Yeah. Enough that he hurt my damn wrist. There you go. Right there. I didn't know until I got home.
Right. I even forgot that's how we started the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was the restart.
Crazy. Yeah. That's what I mean. $3,000 to sign 700 T-shirts and get a broken wrist. Appreciate it. Think about that. Pull Yoshi too. Fuck, just pimp me out for that shit. I was working.
I know how hard it is to sign T-shirts, but I never sign a couple at a time. I've signed a whole bunch of posters like in a row, and that gets annoying. It's not as hard as like getting this stretched out. Yeah. For magic of a T-shirt with a fucking shitty silver Sharpie or something.
And don't get me wrong. If they laminate a big logo, we got a chance to operate too. But I'm talking.
Yes. I was about to say, if you have a nice, like that one print logo, you can just knock it out.
Not the case. This mug was screen printed, just like the shirt. It was me and John's face looking at each other, very awkward, and nowhere to sign. That you didn't, I signed the first one out. The whole shirt came off the table. I'm like, ready. Let me learn here that the pen barely touches the shirt. John's over there. I'm telling you, he's writing a manuscript. Perfect.
Yes, a manual. I got you. Hey, we have a earlier $4.99 super chat. Our wrestling needs Travis Bagent from Todd and Alex Lovechild.
Yeah, well, I'm right here, player. Come out your pocket. $300 super chats will get me back in.
Was a good question. Artem, can you ask Travis if he also is going to Dubai with you?
What's the date?
October 28th.
What, like next week?
No, 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks out. Exactly 3 weeks.
Not on a weekend?
Yeah, it's a Friday. I think the tournament is so far is on Friday, but Adam said they're trying to do it on a Saturday because it's like a bodybuilding expo too. So it's that weekend of October 27th to whatever. I believe tickets from you are around like $1,000 also because I have a couple of people checking it out.
100% not be there.
Perfect.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. So on another thing too, I am going to East versus West also on November 19th.
How are you getting there? What are you doing?
So me, I actually, you know what? That's probably or all blessed to you, right? Because if it weren't for you,
no shit, Sherlock. Your whole
right?
career, your
Right.
entire career is based on your relationship with me. My God.
Oh, man. Because pretty much you were the reason me and Engin started talking because of the podcast. And
yeah, and didn't be around you. And then I made him. I'm like, yo, listen, man, relax. Right. Artem ain't gonna mess with you. So it was perfect.
So yesterday we got to talking about like helping doing the social media and stuff for the whole East versus West thing and like helping with the Instagram. And that turned into the whole thing of me actually going there and basically the plan so far. I mean, it's just in the talks. We have not announced none of this yet, but I'll be out there doing a bunch of YouTube for East versus West, like throughout, like, you know, a couple of days. And also I'll be post interviewing the athletes as they're done with the match if they're Russian speaking. So I'll be like the guy that like does it, like the concept we got. So, but Engin was trying to entice me too, because I was like, I would like to try to go. And he's like, well, what if I pay you and I will give you a match like before card? But I'm like, I'm getting a little too good to where I
don't make it my only trip. Tell Engin, don't make it my only trip.
Right. Like I want to be like, you know,
listen, when you do pull for him, you make sure you pull the 132-pound third place guy. Listen, don't be messing around with no 187-pound guy over there. Okay.
Oh man.
Stay away from there, man. Listen, you tell him that you will pull, I'm serious, 121-pound champion. Who is he?
I don't know. What about like a top?
No, top.
Like, you know, what a bottom 10, like 197 guy?
No, don't do it. Here, stay away from anybody that weighs the same as you, and you only arm wrestle guys that speak one language, English. You don't care where they are in the world, they can only speak English. If a motherfucker comes in there with an accent or any sort of translator, you are done. Don't do it. Tell him you want to pull for Russia against an American.
Oh!
You be on the West team.
On the East.
No, what is it? Yeah, whatever team you ain't on the American team, tell them you want to be on the other team. And you'll take Isaac Luna for your first match.
Oh, man.
Hey, dude, that's the gig, man. You want to fucking be the man and have a show? You pull for the other, now that you are American, you pull for Russia. That's hot, boy. That shit is hot. And you ought to be like so Russian at this match too. Like whenever your English friends try to speak to you, you only speak Russian. I done ruined it.
Hold on. Let me change to my Adidas tracksuit real quick, dog.
100%, dude. You should create an alter ego. And that is when you pull with Engin, you pull for Russia. And you promote in Russian. You do. Yes. Yes. Man, I'm telling you, why would you not do that?
Man, that's awesome.
That would be awesome.
Isaac Luna, your ass is mine. You better stop doing this little TikToks. You better start training.
All I know is Isaac Luna's doing a really good job of his little clips. Because now I don't scroll through them. I watch them.
Yeah, I like the arm wrestling ones for sure. All the little ones where like I'm singling in attention. I don't like those, but the arm wrestling ones, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah,
I love them. And also too the dude that's whispering at everybody, Anton.
Yeah.
You'll pull him. You'll be Russian. He'll be American. East versus West. That's what you got to do. You got to use this career, man. You only arm wrestle American social media guys. Yeah. Stay away from I got invited to Germany.
Oh, dude, what?
That thing that Coach Ray and Devin did where they got teams or something and they were coaching them?
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what the date is yet, but that might be fun.
Okay. That's it. Yeah. That's exciting. That's an arm wrestling for you. Do you have to arm wrestle? Do you have to arm wrestle?
I am on the pecking order. That's big business there, baby. What are you talking about? God told me I got to pay my own airfare. I'm like, no problem. As long as I can be a part of it, bro. As long as I can be a part of it. Woo! Long as I can give the illusion that I am still relevant, playa.
Oh man! Hey, well, if that's the case, let me know if you're gonna come down for some practice over here. A little barbecue.
We need a match between Russian Artem and Brandon Morris from the United States on the card, East versus West.
Dude.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And here's the best thing about it. We can get Brandon's ticket. Oh, no, are you going to Dubai? No, we can get Brandon's ticket right now. Plenty of time. He can ride with Artem. It's a perfect scenario.
Yep. It's I'm about to book that ticket too. It was about like 1,000 something. Yeah.
Get Brandon's ticket too. Trust me. Trust me.
Hold on. Man, you know that I don't know if Brandon even allowed to get a passport in his life to leave this country.
Hey. How you put that man's business out here like that?
I'm just saying. When what Brandon's not with you?
Let's go with you and your boy. Who's your other guy? The guy I love so much.
Which one?
Your best friend, crazy memes.
Oh, Parsons.
You and Parsons. You're Russian. He's American.
Oh man, that's Hey, who knows? Maybe eventually you'll make a comeback. I'll have to arm wrestle your little ass.
As long as it's left-handed.
Bro, how funny was that when
you were struggling the last time I was around you left-handed?
Dude, that last left-hand time was so stupid.
Yeah, you was off that day.
I don't think I even got you. Like, I think not. No, I think the very first like terrible practice we had where I smacked around you, I think it was like eventually the last one I was like
Parsons had a gun on his side and he kept looking at me. What am I supposed to do?
Right. Well,
Orlando, you know the crime rate is outrageous.
Well, hold on, that's Jacksonville on the wall, baby.
This guy's over here like Tommy from Power. I'm not about that smoke.
Yeah, they got all the tattoos up, little, you don't want to grab Parsons by the hips because you might touch something. Yes. Hey, so how crazy? So speaking of me arm wrestling eventually, how crazy was that? Well, actually, you're gonna see that. So let me fill you in. At the King of the Table, at the very end, they asked, they brought out Dennis, and they asked him like, what about your comeback when you're arm wrestling? Dennis goes word for word, well, I'm planning on comeback, but I'm telling the organizers that I need somebody not strong. Like that, I don't need somebody like I need somebody that's not strong and blah, blah, blah. And and we plan on something in February. And then they announced that he wants John Brzenk. So like, is it so he would consider John not John was super offended. John commented on that video like, what the fuck?
I am actually going to see John Brzenk next week. Okay. And I will get a good feel as to how he actually really feels about that. I do believe that Dennis probably didn't really want to disrespect John, but I will tell you this. Beautiful marketing tool for someone. Maybe he was coerced into saying those lines, or because here's the deal. I don't want to see him and John till now. Now I'd like to see it since he wants to talk shit. So what a great job for both of them. Even if John is mad truly, or it's just a big, kind of misunderstanding, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't really want to disrespect John, because who would want to do that? He's a great guy. Second of all, I don't think anyone really wanted to see that match, but I think maybe now. And when I saw that, I didn't hear Dennis say it, but I did see John's response. I didn't watch it, but I saw the headlines talking about Dennis saying it. So I just texted John that said, Dennis is a bitch. That's all I said. So we'll reconvene next week when we see each other.
Okay, interesting. Let us know next week podcast. Okay, what about our mutual boy Cobra coming back?
Cobra called me this morning, 7:00 this morning, and told me that he was headed to do another shot in a major motion picture, because that's what the hell he does. He does cool shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then he told me that he's pulling, right? And I can adamantly tell you 100% that he has no chance.
You don't believe he can beat Haidar? Well, I don't even let's not even talk Haidar. Cobra said to you and me, I think, in the podcast, and he been calling me and saying that not only he's going to beat Haidar, he's going to be number one guy at 176 class by next May. Oh, come on, man.
And I'm going to beat Levon in the King of the Table next week. That's about the shot that Cobra has. Cobra's
really?
200.
I told Brandon that. Brandon
200 years old. No chance.
No?
Cobra is an actor. Screen Actors Guild. Get out of here with that shit. Now, maybe unless Will Smith has paid Haidar and the rest of the 171s in this world, Cobra's in trouble.
You believe the connection with Will is that tight? All right. Well, what if he beats Haidar?
Hey, him and Will Smith kicking it, FaceTiming me all of the time. Something's going on.
Okay, so what if he beats Haidar?
It's a setup. Don't believe it. It's all smoke and mirrors. Cobra's acting. He's not arm wrestling. Trust me. He's going over there to get an honorary robe from an Istanbul king, and then he'll do the parade, and that'll be the last time you see Cobra, unless it is at the Grammys or the Emmys. I don't even know which one gives it to actors.
Well, now you're messing up. I think it's a Grammy.
It's one of them, I think.
It's one. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not going to comment because I believe I'm.
And also, don't let Cobra in on this call if he tries to call right now and say, "Let me in."
I'm checking my messages. I think Cobra is on the film. That's why we're not getting anything.
Yeah, Travis, exactly. On the plane right now. He's going to Cali, baby.
I'm going to get a phone call later, probably. Or you. Probably you, because I believe in Cobra's Haidar.
I'm going to give you guys a training secret right here. See this right here?
Hold on. I'm not looking. Balance is power. Slack block. What are we doing here?
Slack block. See it?
Okay.
See that? Can you see that website on how to get better?
It's upside down. Okay. Above 230 pounds. Instruction video at slackbow.com/sblock.
Just gonna give you guys a little input without telling you that you need this. What was the most important thing I told you last week when we were talking about arm wrestling and Khabib? And what did I tell you is the most important thing? Balance. I mean, my God, Artem, teaching you is something, boy. Balance is key, Artem. I'm going to keep the competitive advantage as long as I can, but I'm trying to let you guys know that that's where it's at.
Okay. It's all about the balance.
Just letting you know, I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm telling you to do this.
You better show us what you're doing with that thing.
Hey. Cross-country pest control. That's all you need to know. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Hey, there's a question. Travis, Michael Todd said that he wants to be what? That he wants to be you at King of the Table. Thoughts? I don't know if he's dressing up or but this.
That's all that means is that he would like to win and be the biggest draw, the most entertaining person, the biggest star at the event. And I don't blame him for wanting that. However, be careful with expectation. Putting too big of an expectation level or wanting something too far out of reach can be detrimental. You can never really be happy. Let's say Michael Todd's dreams come true. He whacks Prudent. He takes over the whole stage. But because he was looking to be me, he is still not for field. So all of this great stuff could happen to people. But if they put an absurd expectation level on it, even a really, really good thing won't meet their expectation and could actually cause them to be actually upset. So if I was Michael Todd, I would try to be him. That way, if he was happen to win and be the man, it would be an over expectation level.
Okay. I respect that. Very humble of you, Travis. Very humble.
Yeah. Well, you know me. Not one to brag over here, guys. Hey, speaking of momentum, crazy momentum with the last video. 25 people have more or less made the cut. Now I've got 40 people that want to be $1,000 member. However, I don't want just 25 guys with $1,000 anymore. I want 25 partners. I want 25 people to come to every event. I want them to either arm wrestle, volunteer, work, be a fan, promote, post, write about it, talk about it, video about it, be about it. $25,000 from one rich dude will get us nowhere. 26, 27, maybe 28 people all coming together can already make the event amazing. Okay. So we want you to know from now on, even if you've already sent an invitation or a email, a contact that says you are interested, know now what the new requirements are. You will be there at every event. You will be killing it. We will do weigh-ins as a group. We will have no overhead for day of event. Us 25 guys will be the referees, the film guys, the waiters, the registration, the mic. All of us are doing all the work in-house. So if you want to be one of us, just know it comes with not only your money, but your time.
Okay. And in return, the guys get to be the part of this awesome group.
It's going to be crazy. We're going to make some huge announcements November 1st.
All right.
November 16th, the whole team will be secured. The marriage will happen, and we will let all of our guys know what it looks like, the whole schedule. It's on. It is about to be on. We're gonna run stuff in the United States. No foreigners will ever be involved in any capacity. Just kidding. Everybody's welcome. Just
Hey, $5 super chat from JC Hensley. Why is Monster Michael Todd is so delusional sometimes?
You know what, man? That's a great question. That is a great question. I don't know if it comes from his childhood, maybe his young adult decisions. Maybe he's just got, what is that, post-traumatic stress syndrome from me just
disorder,
bam, popping his ass for 20 years. I don't know. The man obviously is sick. We should pray for him more than condemn him. Remember, if I whipped your ass for 20 years, it might be hard for you to get out of bed too.
Fair enough. Very important question for you, Travis. Yo, Travis, how much do you charge to do something like the Cooper Tires event?
$1,500 a day, including travel days.
Just tell them $3,000.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times it's $4,500 because it's Friday, Saturday, travel Sunday.
Got you.
You're giving away my secret that I might take something off. God damn it.
I just know I will always get the 10%. That's how I know it's reduced.
Got him. 100%. Yeah, but listen, make sure that they know that Cooper Tire Day is a long day. I mean, yeah. Right. Anybody go out there, I'll give them that mic and I'll let them turn them loose. And let's see if you want that job tomorrow.
Well, plus it also depends where you are, and for the most part, you're always in those hot fucking states and the dates, so you're out there sweating. Have you had I think you told me you had like one or two like really like nice days out there, or was it always hot and like terrible?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, me and Cobra did it one time in St. Louis, in January, and it was, everybody was wearing a coat. I gave Cobra $1,500. All he did was stand there in a black leather jacket, did not move, did not participate. I couldn't find him, took 13 breaks. When I was over, he asked me if I was going to tip him. He thought he did such a good job. I told him the tip of the day is, when it's this cold, son, you need more lotion. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? Worst employee I ever took.
Worst employee ever took. Oh my God.
No, seriously. He said, Travis, freezing. What are you doing? I thought you said this thing was inside. I thought it was inside, really. I ain't lying. I mean, good night. Yeah, definitely not the best. And then I think it rained in Vegas. And in Vegas, the expo floor is the grass.
Mm-hmm.
So it made for like a monsoon came through there, and it never rains. So, there's no where for it to go. It was, it was a pretty shitty day.
All right. So I guess those hot ones were a little better. Okay. Well, actually, we can talk about Ryan for a second too, but there's a good question. Oh my God, I'm missing it. What do you think of Ryan Bowen and his thoughts on being world best with steroids?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I mean, steroids work. If you don't know that, just go ask, what's his name? Hermes. Ask Arsene Liliev, right? But here's the deal. They come with a price, right? Like, you're never the same afterwards, right? So It's a serious commitment. And I think that we have seen more than one guy go down that dark tunnel only to arm wrestle people that are still stronger than him, and he, and it ends up being a route that you maybe wish you didn't take. On the flip side, every guy that's ever been the best, he went that route. Now, should you maybe have a clearer understanding of your potential? Now, if there was a way for Ryan to prove that he's the very best at his weight, but I don't think that really exists anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You agree with that, Art? Can you thankfully somehow tell me that there's some guy that's the 187-pound champion, or is that just your opinion, and that there's 15 guys that could weigh 187 if that was the true thing?
Yeah, no, worldwide, it's impossible worldwide at this point, right? There's like 50 of them.
It's a tough gig, right? But I think now there's a system out there to become the number one guy, right? And that system seems to be grab Levon in a 6-round match and beat him. And then if whoever that guy is will be deemed the best. And then if you can be that guy, you can be the best. So there is a procedure on being the number one guy in the world. I don't think there's a procedure to be a number one weight class guy at the current time. So I do not think that Ryan Bowen has any chance in hell, zero chance of being the best in the world. Will somewhere in his career in his next couple of years, there be a way to be the world champ and number one in your weight class? Maybe that system will evolve. I feel like maybe England or Dubai are on the cusp of where the UFC was before it started having weight classes.
And they will have a weight, some type of ranking too.
Big enough, then there will be the notoriety, fame, finances for Levon for each of those categories. And then Ryan Bowen has a chance somewhere in that 209 to 231 class to be the number one in the world. And that's a small chance because of the Prudniks and the young guys, even the David Khan, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I mean,
24.
I think that guy, if it's $1 million to be the 209 champ, you're going to see some 209ers that you thought was 250.
Right.
Right. And you're going to see some 187-pound guys that you thought were 220 guys. So it'll be really, I don't think that, Khabib and a few of those UFC guys, they lose a lot of weight when for the big money and the big payout. And you don't catch those guys. Like you run into Khabib right now and he's 212 to 222. And you're like, dude, you're the 165 champ? Get out of here. Right? Patty. And, that's just the way it is.
Oh, Patty is crazy. Yeah. Patty goes from like insane weight.
That happened in arm wrestling once indeed there were money for those particular weights.
Right. And it was getting there for like just a second where WL was taking its place, like where Tony Kitowski and Paul Talbot, all those big dudes that all of a sudden were 65. It was there for a second. We had a couple of them.
Yeah, I feel like a tournament, we can get there right away, but the tournament has to be real.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And when I say real, like the WAL had to make sure that everybody's available and welcome. Hey, don't talk again. Once that everyone, it's 100% inclusive and everyone's able to come, and it's the biggest payout for that particular weights, you can start arguing that that's the guy, but we don't have that at all, not even close.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, as you said, maybe at some point. All right, last question before we're going to wrap it up, probably. And if you have something to say, Travis, important question: how come you don't age? Devil looks 60 while you look 30.
Oh man, that's so funny you said that. Is yesterday not yesterday, but last Friday, Saturday, I don't know, got my hair cut. and it was a real nice day. And I threw on these khaki shorts and this Rockwell shirt, and I started walking around, and everybody's like, man, Cat looks like he's 28. So yeah, I do appreciate that. I would say a healthy diet of human growth hormone is what keeps me in my peak performance. Just kidding.
I thought
I've never
opposite.
done growth
I
hormone.
think it's because
But I'm going to 100%. First time I see a gray hair, or I look in the mirror and I see Devin or one of these old dudes, I'm going right to the growth hormone.
I think it's because you're in your dad mode. That's why you're light and skinny and young, face not nasty and bloated.
I weigh 280 pounds right now.
Are you serious?
It's all in my love handles and abs, but it's there. All I got to do is go grab that shit, bring it up here, put it on my traps, and I'm the same guy every day of the week. It's just where is it located? Is it in your traps, shoulders, and forearms, chest, or is it in your love handles and ass?
All right. Okay, Woody81 complaining. So, Woody, you asking questions about UK, and Travis not living in West Virginia, let alone going to UK. But there's one question, Travis, ever thought about poetry? You could be the Muhammad Ali of arm wrestling.
Yeah, I've a few rap lyrics, aka
rap lyrics?
Sonics and his and that, but it has not worked out.
Oh, there's a good comment from Atlas, whose questions I've been bringing the whole hour. Travis should be a comedian, and we talked about that.
Now you're on to something. Now you are on to something. That's what I need to do.
Right.
That's what I need to do. But I tell you, that takes a level of confidence that, woo!
I told you, all you need to do is come to Florida. I'll take you to Orlando Improv. We'll go to the open mic.
Yeah.
And,
just famous enough that a bad stand-up thing will hit TMZ.
Dude, hey, that's maybe your comeback. There's this guy Victor asking when you're going to come back to arm wrestling. We discuss like every episode in a row. I think every episode we mention you're shaping a comeback. So I don't know why people don't follow. So when you see Travis bomb on stage in improv, when you see Travis bomb on stage in improv, that's when you know he's coming back to arm wrestling. Or maybe not. Hey, I'll be there. I'll be clapping and shit. And yeah, go Travis.
I can't let anybody be there for the first.
And I told you. See, you have a wrong perspective. You first show, you bring out 20 people, so they all cheering for you. You don't want nobody to be like, You want 20 fake friends out there. All right, fellas. So there's not much super chats coming in, and yeah, we've been out here for an hour. Travis, do you need something important to say before we go?
Hey, don't be afraid to slide in those DMs if you want to be one of these 25 partners, not a just money investor, but if you want to work this thing hard, you give me a call.
All right, you guys, you heard that. Travis's information is in the description on every video, so let us know. Make sure to buy Primal Beef Jerky, which is also in the description, and we'll see you sometime next week. Play up. Have a good week. All right, you guys, we are wrapping it up. Artem, sorry, my question, bro. How to get a hold of Travis for 50? I'll get him. Well, it was not a question, bro. Like, if you want me to get something, it has to be phrased correctly. You just said, like, well, I'll give him stuff. For what, when, how? Message me or on Instagram at Top Roll King, or email me at toprollking@gmail.com, and I'll give you Travis's information, because I think Travis's email is travisbagent1@gmail.com, but I'm not sure. So just contact me, Instagram. Anyway, there's information in the description, and I'll give you Travis's info, like, however it's possible, if somebody needs Travis's info. As far as business goes, because it's all there. No, Instagram, top Roll King. You can DM me on Facebook, Artem Taranenko. So you can send me a pigeon. Artem left ball. I mean, that's my joke. I always tell people to send a pigeon. Uh, email, as I said, toprolking@gmail.com for any inquiries for Travis, or me. But I believe Travis's email could be in the description too. So it's very easy. Thank you guys for being here on the live. There was a question about the. So yeah, I'm on everywhere. You just put Top King on any social media, most likely gonna reach out to me. I just like to keep it to Instagrams probably, and yeah, or Facebook. So, as I said, everybody has an email. I don't know what else I can offer. TikToks. Um, Travis's comeback. It's always discussed. That's why I'm like, as of right now, we discussed the last time. Travis is in his dad mode currently, for until the draft, which is next May. So Travis might do some arm wrestling, but there's no way he will be training and trying to be in the top shape because he's already. Thank you, you're the man. Gotcha. All right, I'll see if I got something somewhere. So yeah, Travis may do some arm wrestling here or there, but nothing top performance, nothing super top, because it's gonna be a while. Yeah, I think he still has time and motivation to come back to certain top, but it's gonna, left hand he can get to the top probably, but not right now. I think right now he's in a dad mode and he's not even interested in doing anything like that. So that's the thing, guys. As I said, if for any information, I just said where to find us. If somebody needs to sponsor Travis or do something, it's allowed there. As I said, we're gonna do this next week. I'll call Travis. We try to do this on Mondays to Tuesdays, whenever Travis's best days, because I'm available all day kind of day. John thinks you can be top 5 both hands if you come back seriously. I mean, John is already in the top. I think it's just a matter of proper rankings and proper tournament. If you can have a tournament with like people and like the top guys, and we can see all of them perform, yeah, I mean, why not? Especially in a certain weight class, probably. Excuse me. So yeah, guys, check us out. For me currently, as Travis said, I'll be going to Dubai at the end of October to compete at the tournament. And then November 19, I will be at East versus West if I book my ticket in about a second. Check me out on social medias, and Travis. All right, you guys. Until next time, unless I'm missing out, anybody needs me to mention something, say something, hear something, I'm on my way to do some little training. No? Okay. I'll be wrapping it up. Thank you guys for being here. And as I said, we'll see you next week.